Oh boy, yeah, you're you.
Alright. Uh,
We should be live any second, actually. Oh no.
then I should be dead any second, actually.
Oh no. Ooh.
Lie.
Ooh.
You just keep.
Ah. Oh boy. There is nothing in the screen except for your face, my face, and a dice roller and a title just above in a
Ah,
blank space.
fitting. Terrifying, but fitting.
Oh, give me a second. Hmm. Whoa, whoa. Hmm. 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 Oh boy. I got a simple question because it's crucial. Ah. So anything you want to say, do, or are you ready?
I'm ready.
Truly, truly ready. You just kind of want to check something just in case. Eeh. Curious. Anyway, let me play some tune to set the mood. So, as we left off from you, recently defeated a Zerapool, ships under repair, following Ken and Lecter as they were following Jack to the bridge, showcasing what is on the island of Norn. Witnessing all in full glory, recognizing similarity of what you witnessed only days ago with Paranama, uh, and then several seconds later, Lecter encased in this liquid, this goo. You strike at him, the goo sizzles on your blade, and above it, on the blade itself, manifests the half distorted form of your sister Sage before she pushes you down and embraces you, leaving you comatose. And uh, as people try to contain you in a demiplane, as the doors open to somewhere else, somewhere where you would be safe, the hinges tore off as a sudden hole in the witches opens up and snatches you into it. Ah, boy. Work. Hey. So, just roll me a d20, Teri. Hey.
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 No idea if that means good or bad, but
You are. You lay there, idly, eyes open wide. You can feel them, you can sense them, but you see nothing. And then all of a sudden, your body kind of jitters itself into motion, as if taking a breath for a first time in a very long time. As you flinch and just stare into the ceiling. There's no ceiling, there's just darkness. But immediately looking to your side, just looking around, still prone on your back, you see that you're on a platform or some sort of cave entrance of this pure white stone that has these bony textures on it, and the sound tapping upon it like glass. It's pure white, and beyond this material, this thing that you can see, everything else is pure darkness. There is no light, there's no darkness. There is no sensation where you can walk freely or where you could just fall off. Or will you even fall off? As you're on the ground, yeah, uncannily even, that goes maybe for 40 feet behind you and to your left. To your right, only 10 feet, and then just darkness. And then you just see what seems to be like an amalgamation of a cave about 40 feet tall with an entrance that is like 20 feet wide. And it's jittering all of these protrusions of this white stone. And you see the inside of the cave from here, and it's pure white. There's not a single shade of darkness in it. How do you wish to proceed? As you look upon, you have everything on you, including your weapon.
Alright, so on this platform is kind of, it's the end of reality almost. There's nothing. There's no space or anything. It's just
if
the abyss.
you point, like if you try to like see if anything is, no, there's nothing there. But I mean, it doesn't like your hand is not submerged into anything. It just seems just ends. And if you look like slightly over the edge, you can see that there's like 6, 7, maybe 10 feet of this stone hanging just in the middle of the air.
Well, if I'm still on the ground, I'll probably first thing is to get it back up. But look around. After like inspecting and realizing there isn't much to do, I just I'd like to try to cast like a cantrip of like firebolt just into the abyss.
As you cast it, all of a sudden, you just see the flare of fire from your fingertips travel for what you assume is like 100 something feet before just evaporates into nothingness.
That's just then. Hello? Anyone there?
There is no echo. Your voice reaches out maybe 2 feet from you at most, and then all of a sudden just silence.
Very weird. Around. You said there was stone above me, or something above me?
About 20 feet above you, there's this almost like an entrance of a cave. Like literally just a hole to the left and to the right. There's just darkness, but in this 40-foot tall, about 20 feet wide, and an entrance of 20 feet, you see just a tunnel or a cave that is filled to the brim of this white stone. and you don't see even a shade of like darkness or anything.
This is above me. Or
This is, well, it's slightly above you, but it's not exactly hard to climb. The stone
okay.
you're laying upon, or just standing now, is like naturally even, while looking towards the cave, it's jagged, and there's plenty of uh, ways to climb up. And knowing
Alright,
your
what?
yeah, and knowing your athletics, you definitely don't need those stones to get up there.
Yeah. Alright, then I just make a jump on whatever's there to grab, pull myself up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it it takes you literally no effort, just the sensation that you can hear this echoing vibration of like stepping on bone, and there's the slight notion of a crunch that you can feel, but there's no sound that you can actually hear of your steps.
I guess I kind of make my way down, see where this goes.
So, it takes you about 20 seconds to traverse through this cave, and you kind of need to be on guard because everything there is just same color. There is no shade to indicate where one stone begins or ends. There's been a handful of close calls where you just stumble into one and almost just bludgeon yourself against it or poked your eye. But after a good 20 seconds or so in this cave, a white, you just see three pathways that just kind of spread out in random directions. There's one behind you, of course. There's one to your left, and there's one to the right.
Mm. Boy. I see anything down the tunnels?
All of them are white. Both of them seem to be widening in not in just an orthodox fashion. Like a natural cave formation. Nothing about this is natural.
Hmm. I kind of yell, anyone there?
A response?
Hmm. You pass, eh? Well, I'm a straightforward kind of guy. Terry kind of takes the center path.
Which path?
Enter.
You didn't I didn't hear that.
Enter, sorry, forward.
Oh, left turn. Okay. Ah. Takes you another 30 or so seconds, and you're met with a sudden darkness of an opening. And as you look around it as the cave entrance ends, you see that you're maybe a mountains, like in a mountains range, in the side of a mountain. You see just darkness in front of you, and you see the white stone to your left and right that are not very shallow, or how to say this. These there's many formations on both sides for you to make a path to the left or to the right side of the mountain. But where those paths lead, you don't really know.
Any of them lead upwards?
One to the left does lead upwards.
looking for someone, probably on the precipice. Hmm. I'll probably take that one then.
Okay. I would like you to roll me an athletics check.
Great.
Yeah.
Eh,
Oh
38.
yeah. You like you have this like there are sections of this walk, or you consider walk. It's like 4 to 3 feet of like actual uh pathway on the side of the mountain where you want to traverse, and sometimes there's like feet of section just missing. But you manage to just expertly using all those jagged stones to uh essentially go from one side to other whenever an obstacle occurred. And surprisingly enough, not a single time when you needed to like get some strength into a rock, essentially holding yourself together against it, none of the rocks seem to crumble or even like humor to crumple in any sort of way. This stone is incredibly strong, if it is to be considered stone at all. Um, yeah, it take about 3 or so minutes, just carefully but expertly, just going slowly and slowly away from the path you proceeded, but slowly climbing up feet by feet. And about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, you kind of reach the end as you kind of climb on this. You would assume like a mountaintop.
Hmm.
And the mountaintop maybe 100, 300 feet just opposite of you. That's how much it goes. And
Hmm.
it seems to be going upwards to your left, as if like slow but surely just rising up, and going down to your right.
Hmm.
And there's no like notion of there's no notion of a of a path or anything. And the stone here is odd. Terry, remember the hexagon panels that you witnessed
Hmm.
in one of your visions with the dragons?
Yeah, one of the
The
greatest tilings I've ever seen.
Yes. So it's in this similar hexagon shape cutouts the stone that is in all like levels of elevation, few inches at random intervals. But there's like a natural formation of where it goes upwards and where it goes downwards. So it almost makes this a semi-natural stairway system.
Oh.
So, where would you like to go? Because you don't see anyone or anything besides just this stone, and then just darkness.
I'm gonna take the stone then. We're gonna go this semi-natural pathway.
And where are you gonna head?
I think
Down,
we're gonna
downwards or upwards?
think upwards. Can come back, but I feel like upwards will have a definitive end. Keeping alert, probably something risky.
I would like you to roll me a perception check.
Oh crap, I'm doomed. Average.
Yeah, you just walk. Darkness, like to put in perspective, there's no sensation or notion that you're gonna fall off all of a sudden because like you have dozens of feet of this stone to your left and to your right side, and the inky void is far away, so there's no way for you to stray away and just fall off or just clumps into the abyss. um But you don't see anything unusual besides what you already seen.
Mhm.
And there is this sensation of elevation that you're taking. And you can see as you're kind of going upwards, the path that you're going upwards towards starts to reveal more and more itself, and you see more and more elevation. While looking back, you see it just slowly subsides, as if there's a range of vision of how much you can truly see. So, a good 10 or so minutes pass. And you stumble upon something very unusual. You stumble upon what seems to be almost like a clearing of this mountain. It kind of all of a sudden gains evenness. There's no more elevation. And as you walk to the level of it to see what's the elevation all about, you see what seems to be broken stones, dozens of them, shattered, brittled all over the even surface of it. And about 70 or 80 feet in front of you, in the midst of these broken stones, you see what seems to be a, a bonfire that is burning in this gray light. Um, and its burned, and its burning source, its material, are these stones. And by them, you see two individuals sitting on these shattered pieces of stones. One of them, you think it's an elf, old, um, but seems to be red hair that had been slowly but surely fading into gray. Robes that seem familiar but had been lost of coloration and essentially scattered uh, by the elements. And she has this massive blade by her side, maybe 5 feet long, placed against one of the broken piles of this rock. The other individual seems to be a human, young, maybe in his mid 20s, maybe younger. Um, Also looking at the campfire. He has a similar blade like hers, but it's maybe a feet longer, 6 or so feet. And it seems to be covered in this darkened crystal and a bit more distraught, if you will. And one thing you can immediately notice that is off about this person is that there is an entity flying about above it. What seems to be a head of a wolf, disconnected from its body, a plume of smoke, similar as a stream of blood of a decapitated head, lingers above it as it kind of circles lazily above the human. And all of a sudden, the wolf's head stares at you, Teri. You see the white, inky eyes of the wolf. You see its fangs made of shadow. and you see its texture. You realize that is the corruption. That is the parasite. You kind of got here because of this reason. And now it looks upon you. And all of a sudden you see the human looks upon you. And kind of nudges towards the elf and points at you. The elf looks at you. Her gaze stares you down while the human just kind of extends his right hand and gives you a wave.
Very cautious, but with no with no conception of exactly what he should do at the moment. Thinking in his head, he kind of just waves back
and
starts walking forward.
So as you walk forward, you see the human, just puts the blade that was leaning slightly over one of these broken pillars and puts it on the ground, and then grabs the section of the pillar and just kind of rolls towards you slightly. And it's like it's a hexagonal, a hex of a pillar, so it just kind of bulgishly rolls towards you, and you hear just a simple phrase: "Have a seat by the fire." It's unusual to see someone here.
Kind of nods and does go over to take a seat and kind of waits and listens for a small bit. Questions brewing in his head, kind of holding off for a moment to see if this
So you
existence will elaborate.
So what you see, the human's skin looks slightly paler than yours, and he has this look of this confidence, somewhat this ironical joy, but also sadness. While the elf, her skin is gray. And you see that she is an old elf. And you see she is not having the best of days. You see the wolf above the human, looking at you, lazily floating above its person's head, observing you, but saying nothing, occasionally slightly opening its maw, but saying nothing or doing nothing.
Teri, taking the silence as an opportunity, looks around and says, "So, where are we?" Are we somewhere to begin with?
I just kind of looks at the elf. The elf looks back at the man. Then both look at you. You could say you're in between. Somewhere. Nowhere. Place for the damned. The wicked. Maybe for the saints. Maybe for the devils. Don't tell me you're stuck here as well. How did you end up here?
Oh boy, that's a long story, but I'll keep it brief. What we call a parasite, creature beyond the stars, at least they claim to be, made its way down to our planet. In cause of madness, we've been could call it waging a war against it. Much success for the most part, but for a recent, I guess you could call it a crewmate, it got infected. I had to take action, and fortunately, as a containment, after I was exposed to it, I was put into a semi-plane. But instead of
You
well,
don't
actually,
know
I don't.
you
Yeah, I
don't
don't know that. I don't know
yeah,
that.
you don't
Okay,
know
sorry,
that.
I take that back.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, no. Yeah, and then
You see
moment
you
is on
see
him. Next on me.
yeah.
Next I'm here.
You see, as you mentioned the word parasite, you see the wolf's head unhinges its jaw and looks up. It's laughing. And you see the man just kind of looks up at the wolf's head and looks back at you, waits until you finish. So that's how you call them. Interesting. Oh
I
boy.
didn't exactly name them.
Parasite, parasite, that kind of fits. I call them shit, because they're literally shit. In more ways than one, mind you.
Barry kind of giggles at that response.
Well, good to see you're in high spirits. This one, he kind of points at the elf. Well, she's not having the best of days. She is. She's reliving her past few days or years, centuries, how long she has been here in guilt. I've been here only twice. This is my second visit. For her, this is the first and final. Same for you. Hmm. Unless, wait a minute. He kind of looks at the human, at the elf. Are you like naturally gifted, whatever your name is? Um, his hands kind of like look at you, like pointing at you, and just kind of doing this like wiggle with them.
Um, yeah, that's kind of a display of that. Terry like wings sprout out from his back as I use my action to get myself flying. Yeah.
You see the elf's eyes widen, and there's an immense surprise, and her face slightly tenses up. And you don't know if it's out of the excitement or her heart is about to snap in half. Ah! Hmm. Hey, look at that. You know magic. See, Morgana, maybe there is hope for you yet. Maybe you can return to your world from here, since you just need some magic. Whatever is your name. Also, nice armor.
Terry.
Teri.
Thank you.
Nice. Good name. Short.
Sure.
Uh, so, Teri. This is Morgana. He kind of immediately grabs Morgana's shoulder and just kind of shakes her awake. You see, Morgana is not having a lot of nice thoughts at the moment in her head as she looks at the human with almost this disgust. So yeah, her name is Morgana. She's been stuck here for I don't know how long, and she wants out. Problem is, though, when she got to this place, she was a very powerful wizard, 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 whatever, someone who dabbles in arcane, and apparently she got disconnected with this power when she got here.
This is
But
beyond the arcane. Something new.
bam. You see the elf, her as the human lets go of the shoulder. The elf just kind of looks down at the campfire. I failed everyone, and for my failure, I was cut off from Mistra. I failed her. I failed the world. I failed everyone I beloved. You see the human just kind of stares at her. There's this notion of sadness, and all of a sudden the sadness changes into a smile, looks at you, Teri. But hey, you're here, so you know magic, so you can get her out of here, right? Easy, right?
Maybe.
He kind of clasps his hands vigorously, rubbing them, looking at both of you.
He kind of looks over at the girl with empathy. That sucks, doesn't it? Looks out, quite a bit of failure in my life too. Though, ironically, that's not exactly what led here. It kind of did. There's a moment of kind of like Teri kind of looks at the elf with empathy, some ability to relate to the feeling. I've, in no short terms, off the mic.
Terry just fucking loses it. Just fucking
Explodes.
yeah.
If you die in game today, you die in real life. Arachnus is already outside of your room.
Roll initiative. Looks over and he kind of says, "See, maybe I should ask first. How did it happen?"
She takes a sigh and looks at you with frustration, looks at the human, and the human just looks at her and says, "You know, you told me the story 5 times already. You said that you told me only twice, but I already know you said me at least 4 times. So, do it a 6th time or a 7th, I do not care." The elf takes a deep breath, and there's almost this shakiness in her chest as you see. If she could weep, she would. But she seems to not just no longer have the strength to do so. I once belonged to a people. As a flying city in the sky. We called ourselves the Platinum Seas. We were defenders of the world from the natural, the first and final line of defense. But as time went on, people became too lazy, too pompous, too secure about the otherworldly that they decided to wage the war against themselves. A war broke out between an empire and a rebellion that sought to overthrow the emperor for all that he and his descendants brought upon the world, all the peace, all the progression.
Quite a war, wasn't it?
Decades later, a decisive battle happened, and the world changed forever with a giant scar and millions lost. We were to blame for all of it, but none of us were guilty. We all knew, but everybody pointed fingers at us anyway. So many of us, I and a few others, personally went out to look for answers, for a potential to undo what has been done. We went into the forbidden lands of Archipeligo, ruled by Loxodons, ruled by this spirit master. But he never gave us entry. But we went in anyway. And he found out about it. And in one still night, the best of the best that the Palm Seas could offer, the most gifted, the most skilled, 152 souls were obliterated in a matter of minutes, slaughtered. And as I was the charge of the ship, the charge of everyone who died, I was sent here as a lesson. But before that, I was cut off. Cut off from Mistra. And you see, as soon as the elf finishes speaking, all of a sudden you see the man produces in his hand, which were closed, he produces a number 7 with his fingers and kind of nods.
That's Oh, guess that means you were there firsthand during the platinum platinum Seas interrogation frenzy.
I was. And then she all of a sudden, from looking at the fire, almost miserable, looks up at you.
Oh, where do I start?
Do you know of what I speak?
I witnessed quite a few bits of it myself. I was not born in the time you speak, but it is history to us. Oh, some machinations of spells and plots beyond what I could conceive of. I found myself doing the casting of the scourge itself. The story.
You see the head floats, the wolf's head floats around all of you, around the campfire. And you see the man just kind of stares at him. It seems to be chuckling in silence.
Can think. Kind of looks over at the head. Oh, is this to do with the parasites? Or is this just the thing?
It is more than what you call a parasite. Call him wolf, or that's what he is.
Hey, Wolf! He kind of turns and looks at him. You the one pitying us?
You see all of a sudden, twisting its head in midair in this almost uncomfortable angle. It looks at you. Twisted head left and right. Open its mouth and sticks out a tongue that is like 3 or so feet long. Fully made of this thing, of this parasite. Before all of a sudden it retracts back and proceeds to laugh. You don't hear anything.
I'll take that as something akin to an answer. Looks back over at the elf. Yeah. And it looks like at the heart of all of it was the parasite. At least that's what it looked like to me. The core of it, he kind of starts talking. Aranama, ancient dragon, very powerful. It's infected with a parasite. I looks down at the fire, a bit in shame at that statement. Me and my group had been infected, were brought back for time, and we had clumsily walked into the holding cell of the dragon, right into the palms of their hands. Well of evil,
You see the
or at
man.
least
You see the man immediately just starts clapping. Not like out of mockery, but actual. Uh just a genuine clapping towards you and gives you a nod. So, you killed something like us. I guess me, or the wolf that is floating above all us. Impressive. Good to see you're still alive, or at least in one piece. But now you're stuck
looks at.
here.
Yep, go on.
You're stuck here now, so what are you gonna do now? Well, good thing for you at least that you don't really need breathe, eat, piss, or shit. So, but there's not much to do when it comes to entertainment.
Hey. It'll be time to catch up more about this later. Perhaps maybe the first thing to do is to figure out a way out of this mess. Guess the simple thing to do first. Sending spell lector.
What?
Sending spell.
Sending spell. Nothing.
Alright. Okay, communications. So for at the elf. Got a way out of here? Or a plan? Or something requires magic?
I hope you have teleportation or summoning circles or anything of the sort.
Sorry, you're talking to the wrong sorcerer here. But out of my capabilities to learn complex spell, need to teach it.
You see all of a sudden the wolf's head twists at the human. The human just looks at the head, then looks at both of you. I might have a solution, but that's the worst case scenario. You should better find alternatives. Because my alternative is extremely messy and complicated.
Hey, that sounds like my life. Let's see. Looks over at the wolf and back at the human. So, thing ever talk?
Oh yes, it talks plenty. But it only talks to those who wishes to talk. And believe me, you rather not hear it speak.
Alright, take your word for that one. Oh. It's like Aranama, a well of this parasite.
I thought you were looking for ways to get out. I mean, if you
But
wanna...
forgive me if the thing causing a plague upon our world does not pique my curiosity.
Oh. How much you know about this parasite? Okay, just tell me if you know of these concepts with the parasite in mind. The
Nods.
Herald,
Shakes his head.
the Colossi,
Shakes his head.
the Knight,
Wait, hesitate. Kind of. And shakes his head.
the Reaver.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's all going past his head right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I. Oh boy. Oh boy. The, the, the man just kind of cracks his head looking at you. There's a lot that would need to be told. And I think to kind of pauses, bites his lip, looks at um looks at the elf. I think you should just figure out a solution, you two. And the elf looks back at the human. There is no solution. This is a dimwit for an excuse for a sorcerer. Who trained you? Are you the Platinum Seas?
No one trained me. And quite honestly, while I'm associated with the Platinum Seas, I'm closer to a mercenary than a member. Normally, I travel with other companions that are much more talented in the utilitarian, utility side of things.
You see You see her eyes are filled with frustration. She grips her hands tightly, and you see a darkness seeping into them. You see the patterns of the stars on her hands.
As he looks at her, kind of like, bring me some worry and trying to bring you back. Seen those eyes before. Never brought anything good.
Then she quits her tensing, looks at the man with frustration. So what is your alternative then, huh? What are you gonna offer me? You offer me something. You gonna offer me something more now that he's here? The man just kind of pensively looks around, shrugs.
Offer.
Well, it's not much of an offer, but goddamn, I walked up here. I already had this place set up the first time. Second time I came here, she was sitting here all gloomy, crying her eyes out. So I offered her something to do with herself, besides sitting and waiting for her demise. See, she has now a very cool blade by her side. As he kind of points at the blade.
This me. Oh. What exactly looks around this? Doesn't seem quite like a normal plane of existence.
Oh,
Is
because
this
it's not.
place going?
It is not. This is a very peculiar place. This is a place that is molded by will, sheer determination. It's a land between lands, a figment
Our
of
will?
someone's imagination. No, someone else's. Someone greater, someone who passed away a long time ago.
Really?
He kind of shrugs. Perhaps. only been here twice, but that's the intention I get. I could be wrong. But he, as he kind of points at the wolf's heads floating, he never denied my theories, so take them as truths.
Looks with a skeptical eye over the wolf and back. Interesting. Shaped by will, but not our own. And fart gone. Did you set this place up? Oh, and why? Set Freddy up for something, I mean.
It probably was not never intended to set up, it's just a byproduct of something greater. If somebody falls dead in a battlefield and eventually the body becomes a skeleton, it did not have a grand purpose, it just happened to be there.
How did you get out of here?
I woke up. Just kind of stares you blankly. Yeah?
I see.
Don't question too much into my methods. They're as stupid as it sounds on the surface. But as more you question, the more it will make sense. And the more you question, the more depressed you will get. Then looks back at the elf with a deep sigh. So, both of you, really, no ideas. I'm honestly disappointed in you, Morgana. You lamented for a long time to me. You would just need someone capable. And here it is, something capable. How do you even measure arcane by capability? What? He just waves his hand.
I can do some basic time manipulation. A wish spell up my sleeve. On that, most of my other techniques are built around murder.
All of a sudden, Morgana, the elf, grabs you by the shoulder and grabs you looking at your eye. You have a wish spell?
No.
You could get us out! You could get us out!
Good. Teri's gaze kind of hardens.
Wish for us to get back home. Wherever your home is. You see the human you see the wolf just kind of back slightly away behind the human and just kind of observes both of you as now you can hear, even though she's like not fully feeble but old elven, you feel the strength of her pulling you, just like shaking you slightly, and you see the human just kind of stares at this, does not say a word, but just this pensive look staring at both of you like, what's gonna happen next?
Watching TV over here. He looks at her with and hardens his gaze and could. Then comes the question, should I? Before I was taken out of here, I was infected by some parasite. I think that thing got out of control. The world was put in danger. It looks like you're not too far away from that touch either.
The human just looks at you, Teri. About these parasites, it's such a complicated matter. I'm gonna call them shits because that's more hilarious, because there are literal shits. How severe are we talking about this little invasion of yours? This escalation? I know you're
Last time it got out of hand, the world was put at risk.
You know, there's so many layers of the world has been put to risk.
About it.
I, um, I'm gonna just put this out here. Right, Terry? The world is probably doomed already. Because it's not a dormant thing. Every second it is present, it spreads. Every second that passes, it grows stronger, becomes smarter, faster, and more ways than one. Your world is most likely doomed already. But maybe I'm wrong, I don't really know. I stopped something like that 3 times already. Mind you, 2 of those times I started it myself. But I seen what can happen. And hey, if the world is already dying, might as well let Morgana here see it before it dies. You could fulfill her that wish.
Said you stopped it.
There's a lot. A lot. Actually, a lot. Oh boy, well, it all depends on the circumstance, how severe it is, where it is.
Rather isolated at the moment. Single island. Placed on an anti-magic field. It's not staying idle.
So still in its infancy. Nice. How long has it been there?
Got me, but by the sounds of it, adventure minimum era, probably much longer.
That's actually. Hmm. Hmm. He kind of scratches his chin, looks at you. That is actually an isolated in an island and quite young. Hmm. I like those odds. You might have some genuinely good odds about containing that. And it's not really easy to say anything to you or give you a solution to your problem when you don't know what you're really
Take you
up
with us?
against. Me. Well,
Odds.
technically, I'm not much doing else. So if I go with you, I go to see another thing and do it for the 5th time, or I stay here and wait until I wake up.
I mean, it sounds far more entertaining than the other.
That does sound entertaining, honestly. Oh, he kind of slaps Morgana at the back. Not like with force, but like just kind of casually. See? You pissed and shouted into the earth, into the sky, and somebody came to your rescue.
I have a tendency to walk into everything. But, with that said, if I grab you, is that thing following? He puts a thumb back to the wolf.
Oh, yes, he will.
Doesn't sound especially safe.
Oh, don't
Well, then
worry.
again,
Oh, don't worry. He is harmless compared to. Well, actually, not harmless at all. Actually, he's quite dangerous. But, he has his own tasks to perform or achieve or whatever he does nowadays. Don't worry. I don't think. He doesn't really care about invasions, immersions.
Not all the parasites are infatuated with the mortal plane.
Oh, you would think. You would think, wouldn't you? See, there's a
Would
lot to
hope.
learn. There's a lot to learn.
Hope. Hope for a lecture, but for now, I think perhaps we should just make our way out of here. Ev walks over to the man. I don't quite trust you, but honestly, I don't have any options, and stupid things usually work out in my favor. This is out of hand. Want to come along? It'd be fun.
It kind of looks at you. Do you even know my name? You don't even seem to care about who I am.
I don't know your name. You don't know mine.
You told me that
Maybe
there's
you do.
You said you're Teri.
Here's a made-up name. In the end, that's all they are. Made up. Judge you by your actions, not by your name.
Alrighty. Wow. Well, her name is Morgana. My name is Joseph. And good to see you, Teri, or whatever your name is. That
That's what I go by. It'll do.
uh, uh, okay. Now I'm actually having second thoughts about this. Whatever the case, nothing worse than this could happen. Well, not really, but I am doubting that you're gonna put us somewhere worse.
He just kind of stretches out. Well, that's a lot of faith in me. Not sure if it's well placed, but. Hey then. And Terry begins the wish spell. I'll be wish to
remember, wish spells need to be precise for the most specific action.
Alright. It goes into his head, kind of trying to judge the right words to wish. I need a particular location. Where do I remember clearly the best? He thinks back through his memory, and and the memory that pops out the most is him eating steak. The mess hall.
The mess hall. Oh boy. Oh.
And
So, what's your wish? What's your wish?
I'm gonna probably type this out just so I have exact words here. He's a forgotten person. Lecter. Lecter just realizing how Terry runs things. Right, so, wish upon a star to be taken back to where I last ate, to the flying ship's mess hall. The vivid image of eating steak in that exact location in his mind.
So, where are you going?
I saw the ship. To where you last ate. There we go.
Okay. I wish upon the star to take me there. Oh boy. Roll any 100? Oh, fuck.
This is so bad. No, Mark of Peel.
Oh, fuck.
Still sucks.
Oh my god.
Well, that's better than a 3. It's better than a 3.
Just let me
Not good.
Let me
Better
just,
than a
let
3.
me just roll some stuff.
Ah, there's the number I needed.
No, give me a second. Oh shit. Oh my fucking god. Ah. Oh my fucking god. So Terry, as you say that fucking thing. God, fucking damn it, Terry. So, so Terry, you, as you say upon this, you see the Morgana and Joseph grab their weapons that they had. Not like to attack you, but just grab just in case that they don't want to leave it behind, and you get whisked away. For fuck's sake! For fuck's sake! So, you are immediately. You open your eyes, and all we see in front of you is celebration dying down in the tavern. Everybody's drinking, celebrating. Everybody's here. Everybody's having a good old time. Give me a second. Yeah, everybody's having a great time, and yeah. Give me a second. It's just gonna play too. Oh my fucking god. Okay, I'm just gonna, yeah. So, yeah.
Hanging on to both of them, teleports them into the middle of the air, and we fall straight into concrete or something.
So, you're just you're in the tavern. Everybody's like, hey, drinking,
Are they
celebrating.
still in one piece, or do I just am I hanging onto their shoulder, disembodied from them?
No, you don't know where they are.
Darn it, hanging onto them wasn't enough.
Yeah, you.
Locate creature.
Which one you want to locate?
The elven woman, the only one I know the name to.
You know the man's name as well.
Morgana and Joseph.
Yes.
Oh, alright.
Yeah. You look at the Morgana's thing, and you realize that she is like 70 feet below you, somewhere in the workshop floor. So
And
she's on. Joseph is 200 feet above shit.
Okay, I'm gonna dimension door 200 feet
190,
up.
180,
Yeah,
170.
I'm gonna dimension door up.
No.
Him
So
with my
so here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You.
I know it's about to end, but I want to end this eating steak.
No. This is what you dimension door upwards, right? And this is what you basically see. This is what you literally see. just plummeting to the ground.
Still okay? Check.
He really stands up. You see the wolf above him still floating and just kind of looking around. And he just kind of stretches, and you hear this very unsettling crack in his shoulder. As all of a sudden you see... Yeah. And then looks at you, Terry.
It worked, didn't it? Puts his hand on his shoulder.
I would kick your ass if I wouldn't say that I had a lot worse. Oh.
There's a party going downstairs, so he kind of like, may I? And he
Oh no,
starts...
no. I don't eat, drink, or anything. I don't even sleep. But he kind of starts looking around a bit. It's just on the main deck, and kind of looks down from the side. Looks back.
Okay.
Are we fucking flying?
Yeah, flying ship.
So magic, but also flying ship.
Oh yeah,
Correct.
yeah. We got several
No,
dogs
no,
on
Lecter,
board,
you're
you
not
know.
nowhere
You're not
forensic.
here?
Lecter, you're. Oh yeah, Terry.
Did I even notice the fact that Harry fucking returned?
No,
Nope, you're not.
no. So this happened hours after your thing, and Terry,
I'm currently out.
yeah, Terry, you can see on the main deck there is Lecter laying on his back, what seems to be a single this purplish lipstick kiss on where his mouth is, just
Had a while,
staring
right?
blankly. And then you see Joseph just kind of comes up to him, just looking at him. What the fuck is this? Looks at you.
It's a sentient construct or something of the sort. I'm not sure myself, but it looks like he had a fun night.
The fuck.
Speaking of which, that's actually our captain, so I should probably tell him about this at some point.
Oh god. Or damn.
Or
Just you dare wake me up and I'm going to kill everyone.
or you know, theoretically. Are there any drawing utensils around here?
Drawing utensils. Well, you don't
You're
really
giving
know.
me more of a reason to kill you.
Very much so.
Terry, see the wolf's head all of a sudden become 3 times the size. And then it starts to kind of go off like 30 feet from the ship. And it seems to be staring somewhere northish side. And then looks back and just almost like a scream towards towards Joseph. And you see Joseph just almost snaps his head towards Wolf. And looks back at you. Oh. Oh, no fucking wonder you have an invasion.
What did we do?
I don't fucking know. I just got here.
Talk about the Archipelago. That thing's kind of messed up.
Archipelago, cool. Oh boy. I guess I'll wait.
I'll show you to our quarters.
No, I'll stay here. I like the sky more than.
Enough. There's a pool over there. Need to go get
you look at the pool. The pool seems to be made of ice. Like there's no water on it. Just a block.
Well, if you want to go ice skating. Anyways,
it's like that. Yeah, I'll just sit by him, just pointing at Lecter. Just kind of sits like snuggles up slightly against the railing and just slumps down and just looks at Lecter and just looks out into the sky.
there's 2 things I have left to do, so I'll be right back. And he's dimension store over to the where am I?
The first thing you hear when you go to the wood, like the level, like the lower levels of the workshop, you all of a sudden hear this audible bang sound. Hello? Hello, where am I? Can you let me out? You hear the
Teri!
Yeah. Yeah, can you let me out? Where am I?
Looks around!
Yeah, so you
Oh,
see,
wait,
you like takes a good 20 seconds and you find her. She is banging at the side of a wall that is like, you know when you go through a hallway and there's like this corner room? So one side is wall, the other is door. So she's banging at the wall side of the room. And there's like a closed door. There's no like locks or anything.
It's just pitch black in there, she can't see a thing.
Yeah, so she's like just banging.
I opened the door.
You open up the door and you just see like it's just a clear room. There's just like 2 brooms and a bucket in the corner that touch, and you open up the door and all of a sudden you see the banging stops as you see the Elva just kind of straightens herself out, eyes looking at you.
We will never talk about this.
With this, no. Like she composes it, but also she looks upon you, and there's actual tears rolling through her eyes, as she kind of runs to you, just kind of hugs you.
Kind of like Terry, not usually comfortable with hugging, kind of, understanding what she's been through, does his best to give a sentimental hug and kind of just hold her there for a bit.
Are we home?
Alright, let's get you something to eat real quick. Terry looking for an excuse to get something to eat himself. Terry teleports to the bar with the steak.
Leaving her alone.
No, with her. Dimension Door could take someone.
Oh boy. So, all of a sudden, Terry, as you like good like 20 seconds, everybody's having good like celebratory and kitchen is in full swing. All of a sudden, she sees all the drinks and she's like, oh, I don't want to drink. I just wanted some water and maybe something to eat. I haven't eaten in so long. And all of a sudden, Terry, approaching very quickly, you see Palix, your charge, approach both of you.
Yep.
You see Palix just observes the clothing of the elf, and the elf just kind of looks at this robot and then starts eyeing the robes that he wears.
Fuck, I gotta bounce. See him.
Take care.
It's good he isn't here for this part. I'm definitely coming back to Lecter for a mustache draw. It's so childish, but I want to.
There is no sense, there's no speaking between them, but just stares at each other for a good half a minute or so. And then you see oh yeah, remember the eldest child by the name of Ria?
Yep.
Yeah. She immediately just manifests like 10 feet away from you. Eyes immediately looking at Morgana.
Offer her a drink.
Goodness. But no, she kind of looks at her, and all of a sudden just grabs her by the hand, just kind of takes her away, and she just teleports out with her.
Ending spell to yeah. Hey! Let's use a wish spell to get her back here. There she's in one piece, alright?
There's no response.
They wouldn't do something stupid as curing the people they need to help save the world. I'll kind of like grabs his head and realizes, ooh, a lot. Kind of looks over the bar. You know how traditionally, like, bars have notes for orders and so on like that. When they're taking them, it gets piled up. Looking for a drawing utensil, something that would work on wood. Metal,
Yeah.
I look over the counter and I start, you around for that?
Yeah, you're buying a marker?
Alright. I'm gonna... This is where I want to end up when we get to next session. I want to get back over to Lecter.
Yeah.
I've been using a dimension door a lot today, but
Yeah. You see Joseph just sitting by the side, just seeing you appear.
And I lean over Lecter, and that like the twirly mustache, like the
No.
like the mustache, like that stereotypically cartoon evil guy twirls.
Yes.
Okay, so that his face. After he's done that, he's felt happy about himself. exhausted, goes over to Joseph and says, "Oh, a long day for me. Very long day, actually. I'm gonna head to bed. Uh, feel like I'll probably get into trouble if you just show up here without explanation. Oh, if someone asks who the hell are you, what you're doing here, just say Teri brought you. They'll
Okay.
freak out for a moment, but they'll figure it out. I'm going to bed.
So you lied to me. You said your name wasn't Terry. I see.
Oh, my joke was, well, not a joke. Definition here is saying that names are made up. You can make up whatever you want. I could say my name's David. I choose to go by Terry, because that's how I want to be known. Actions.
All I'm
It's a wheel.
I'm just saying, it is ironic that you were trying to get all this information, but as soon as you got home, you're gonna go to bed.
Look,
But
I want to have a conversation with you, but I'm going to be honest here. If I have it now, I'm going to forget everything you say.
Dad.
Back there, I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel hungry. Now I'm starving, and I'm exhausted.
Do as you wish. I'll not go anywhere. This is an interesting place, so I mean, yeah. Alright, I can. I'm not gonna bother you with that. Just go.
Nice meeting you. He goes in for a handshake. Actually, she didn't know I was gonna die, but best not worry her.
As he grabs your hand, all of a sudden his hand grows out slightly in this plume of the parasite, and now covers your entire hand,
Ah!
and then eyes you a bit. Don't be afraid of this.
His eyes kind of harden. Joyful expression kind of fades a bit.
See, do you feel something terrible? You feel something awful? No. That is the first lesson. And then he kind of lets go of the hand. In your hand, you can see your hand is covered in this murky wood, and all of a sudden it just slowly subsides and vanishes.
No, it's kind of from.
As he just kind of leans against the railing and chuckles to himself.
That, Terry's face relaxes, and it makes you realize that he makes it apparent that how much he was keeping up an act, trying to act energetic throughout all of this, and it becomes abundantly clear on his face that he's absolutely exhausted, and he kind of looks out to the stars. Oh, jeez, going over my head. Is there a rhyme and reason to any of this? All just for fun.
There is a reason, but it's not a good one.
These days, I won't get back up. Until then, okay.
So,
I think I found out how I want to lead my life.
So, with that being said, I guess we gotta call it, because it's been an hour and a half, and look at that, you lived!
I lived! Surprisingly.
I actually forgot you had a witch spell. Oh yeah. Ooh. So, look at that. Terry's back. He brought me on the ship. And,
Look, come on, that's one of the best turns here. I get to invite you to an adventure.
oh god. I have to provide so much fucking lore. Anyway.
Terry shenanigans. Thank you. This was a lot of fun and very concerning.
You want to say something before I'm shutting the stream down with no survivors?
Yes. That's what I want to say.
Nothing? Okay, I see. You know what? Let me raid someone. because I can. Because this is not a usual thing, you know. Because people are awake at the moment, so I'm like, hey, you know what? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna raid someone.
Can't wait for the lore dumps, but I feel bad if I made you lore dump while everyone wasn't here.
Yeah, nah, he wouldn't. Lord Tommy. Well, not the fact is yeah. Anyway, yeet.
Eat!
It's over.